All right, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do sports. What was that you said? Delgado's going to do the news.
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah. 4 hours.
That's the word of the night tonight, 4 hours. That's how long it took Harry on the highway to get home from the city tonight, covering the Trump BS trial. 4 hours. How many times did Harry tell us it took him 4 hours? Like
4,400 times.
From the door to the building to the door to the studio. 30 times?
Yeah. No, more than that.
More than that.
Yeah. It was phenomenal, the amount of times.
So, lots to do. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do sports. Delgado's got the news. Rick Delgado, how are you?
I am well.
Very good. How was your day?
Good. I have no video for Aaron.
Light anything on fire today?
Nope, didn't light anything on fire.
Good.
Any sightings?
No sightings.
No.
Mothership didn't come down and say hello today?
No illuminations.
Spent no time in my socks are nice and dry. I'm good.
Yeah, we're
good.
pretty much past the time where you have to run to the bathroom in the breaks to heat your socks on the heater, the tube sock there. Because we had the air conditioning on in the studio today. I don't know why, but freezing. So, Slick, what's caught your attention? Caitlin Clark tonight, first game of the regular season debut.
Up in Connecticut, watching the game right now. Yeah, we got big Knicks playoff game.
I had free tickets to go see Caitlin Clark tonight. I could have ditched you two and gone, but no, I'm here.
Yeah, you're a real trooper.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you usually ditch us once or twice a week.
Exactly.
What was the holdup?
Well,
he didn't want to drive. That was the thing.
Yeah, right.
No,
Too far away.
That's not true. Only if I was sick as a dog last time.
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you didn't want to ferry across the misery.
Could have ferried up from Orient Point over to New London, fired that up into Mohegan Sun there in about 20 minutes to catch Caitlin Clark tonight.
I like that venue, actually.
But I did not. I'm here with you two.
Now
my own triple, my own three ball here.
I think U2 is playing the Sphere in Vegas, so you're not here with U2.
Have you heard, speaking of that, you heard Dana White talking about UFC 303, I guess it is, or something at
in
the
the Sphere? Oh, that'll be, that's off the chart.
He said it's going to be,
else.
He said, it's a one and done. We're going to do it one time because you'll never be able to duplicate what we're going to do at the Sphere. He said it's going to be just incredible. It makes me want to go.
Where's the Sphere?
I went to UFC early 207. Nate Diaz versus I forget who it was at the time. It was the biggest fight in the world. The UFC knows how to do live production, man. Yeah. They are really good at live shows. Their prepackaged stuff is great. The arena stuff that goes on in the arena is great. They know how to do live production. And at the Sphere, I'll bet that'll be just sick.
Again, where's the Sphere?
In Vegas.
Oh, it's in Vegas. All right.
Right.
I haven't been to Vegas in a while, man. It's been a while.
Have you been to Ronkonkoma in a while? I mean, I didn't know what the Sphere is.
Well, because I haven't been in Vegas in a while.
Well, I don't think Slick, do you have to be in Vegas to know what the Sphere is?
No.
Have you been to Vegas lately?
I haven't been there in a couple of years, no. But of course I know. I have a lot of friends that have gone. In fact, my accountant went, my CPA. They had a great time.
Well, yeah, because
unbelievable.
He paid for it with your money, of course.
Yeah, he said it was a taxing trip. Yeah, but no, it was it was good stuff, man. Good stuff. They loved it. They saw U2. They saw the U2 show, which, for what they are, I'm not in love with U2. I don't really like their political games, but
no.
but they they had good sound though. Sound guy was on. It was good music. But
wouldn't walk across the street with free tickets to go see them.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
No. All right, so lots to get into. We'll get into what we'll start with what applies to you in your life, because this is what we try to hit when there's news out there, especially financial news. And, of course, this morning we had not only the Producers Price Index, PPI, come out, we have CPI tomorrow and how directly affects you. Consumer Price Index, that would be you, the consumer. Today, the Producer Price Index, which still affects you. And that came out, of course, hot again. And then the Federal Reserve Chairman spoke a little later in the morning, and that also affects you. And Fed Chair Powell says inflation has been higher than they thought. Expects rates, though, to hold steady, he said today. I think probably the most important thing he said, at least in how it affects markets, is that he still doesn't think the next move will be a rate hike. He thinks it'll be just higher for longer until something, either breaks or he's forced to have to come off of that. Now, tomorrow we get CPI. Most people are not expecting much of anything from a CPI other than kind of meeting the expectation or a tad hotter, which I think the markets have pretty much priced in at this point. If you look at least today in some markets, red all around. Although the regular markets, crypto markets were red, but the regular markets today were pretty good. I think NASDAQ was closing in on an all-time high. But we'll get CPI tomorrow, but we got PPI today, and PPI was hot. 0.5 in April, we were expecting 0.3. And so then Powell spoke afterwards, and he reiterated that inflation's falling a lot slower than they expected. And it's going to keep the central bank probably on this higher for longer, 5.25, 5.5 rates like they are now. And he spoke to the meeting of the Foreign Bankers Association in Amsterdam. Central bank leader noted that the rapid disinflation that happened in 23 has slowed considerably this year and has caused a rethink of where policy is headed. Well, probably not. I think it was pretty clear a couple months ago that this thing was slowing down and maybe even ticking back up. And he says, we didn't expect this to be a smooth road, but the inflation readings are higher than I think anyone expected. What that has told us is that we will need to be patient and let our restrictive policy do its work. While he expects inflation to come down throughout the year, he noted it hasn't happened so far. I do think it's really a question of keeping policy at a current rate for longer. However, Powell also repeated that he does not expect the Fed to be raising rates. The Fed's been holding its key rate in the targeted range of 5.25 to 5.5. Though the rate's been there since July, it's the highest level in some 23 years. And of course, the issue with that is, as all the other things we've talked about, which of course is people can't make ends meet in this country right now. Their savings is depleted. Credit card usage and credit card holding of debt is at an all-time high. The country's debt is at an all-time high. So debt is just overwhelming everything. The country and you and your family and most American families across this country. And prices, as we see today, are still up. Gasoline is now, I think, nationwide backed up to about $3.61 a gallon. Higher in some places, but that's the average. That's double, a little more than double, about 54% higher than when Biden took office. And again, you get these readings, and you look at, well, they're gonna adjust this basket of CPI, this nonsense. Like I heard today, they're going to take coffee out of the CPI reading. Well, coffee was up 78% in the last reading.
I believe it.
So they start, and it's like, well, if you take out food and energy and coffee and
yeah.
We all do well without all of those.
Mortgages, yeah.
No eating, no drinking, no heating, no
occupancy.
Yeah, then it's fine. Then everything's great.
Live in a tent. Yeah.
That's
eat
fine.
wild berries.
You can leave in there socks and I don't know.
Of course, you're going to leave socks in there.
Of course you would. Warm socks.
That's a hot item for you.
You'll be fine. But
all right, Johnny Five, whatever with that jacket.
Yeah, I forgot my Johnny Five hat tonight. I forgot that, but you're right. But yeah, this is why I saw this poll out of Pennsylvania. More Pennsylvania voters trust Trump than Biden with the economy. And that headline should say every Pennsylvania voter trusts Trump more than Biden with the economy. Now, it's double digits statewide, according to this. And it should be the double digits should be 9 and 9. That's what if it's not triple digits, meaning 100%. If it's double digits, it should be 99% of the state. There's no argument that could be made that Biden should be trusted more on the economy than Trump in any state in this country. Joe Biden has been a human wrecking ball, a one-man wrecking ball to the economy, to your bank account, to your 401ks, to your way of life, to everything. And he continues to be so to this day. And what another 4 years would look like, I just can't even imagine what this country would look like with 4 more years of this guy and these economic policies with the highest tax increases we've ever seen on everybody. Don't fall for the 400,000 nonsense. With the capital gains tax being more than doubled, with them trying to tax unrealized gains, and every other cockamamie idea they could probably come up with to fund their green nonsense and everything else that they want to do. He's putting tariffs out there now on China after he complained and bitched and moaned about Trump doing it, talking about how, a basic Econ 101 student could tell Trump that this is a tax on the... Well, here he is. Now today, announcing the same exact kind of things, which I guess he's okay with now.
Yeah, he's okay with now because it suits him politically. But what's interesting is one of the tariffs that he's putting out there is on BYD. You know what BYD is? No, it's not a Michael Jackson song there, Slick. That's PYT. BYD
right.
is the electric car company
Bring
out
your
of
own
China.
donuts?
Yeah.
No.
No, that's you. BYD is the car company out of China that has basically a zero footprint in this country. Zero footprint. That people you can't get one of these cars in this country. Why? Because they have no plans to launch EVs in the U.S. This is coming from an article dated February 27th of 2024. According to BYD Executive Vice President and CEO of BYD Americas, Stella Lee, the Chinese automaker has no plans to sell passenger EVs in the U.S. The leader called the market interesting but too complicated due to conflicting politics.
Yeah.
So he levels a tariff on a company and an industry, the electric car company out of China, that we're not affected by. And he wants to sit around and parade that. It's all window dressing. It's like, look what I'm being tough on China. No, you're not.
Well, too complicated equals, let me break that define for you. That means there's no interest. There's no interest in EVs.
Yeah.
No significant interest in EVs, especially EVs. I mean, there's some interest in Tesla. They're pretty much the player. But you look at Rivian and some of these other people, I mean,
they're going belly up.
They're just losing hundreds of millions of dollars every year on these cars. They just can't make it work.
Ford's lost billions.
So there's just not, that's what they mean when they say it's a complicated market. Yeah. You know what's complicated is you can't find any buyers. That's complicated. Well, I want to thank who, Fran?
Oh, God. Rainey.
I don't have it in front of me. Hold on.
The guy's
really prepared.
I told you this, so you.
Well, I know you told me, but I forgot her name.
Wanda Sutherland.
Wanda Sutherland for sending this in.
This is her father.
This is her father playing this harmonica.
His name?
And I like this track. Come on now.
Goes good with the jacket.
I feel like there needs to be a vocal on this track. I'm just ready for the vocal to come in every time I listen to it. Listened to it a couple times today. I like it.
Well, I went downtown and I got me a fiddle and I met a girl that had a diddle.
Wanda Sutherland sent that in to me. And that's her father, Wayne Rainey.
That's the Rainey.
Yes.
Okay.
And she sent a nice bio.
Nice.
There's not Wayne Brady.
Wayne Rainey gave life to the harmonica, whether he made the harmonica sound like a freight train coming down the railroad tracks or simply making the harmonica cry.
Come on.
Either way, he grew up from a 5-year learning to play the harmonica to being dubbed King of the Harmonica by WSM radio station in Nashville. Of course, that's where you hear the Grand Ole Opry on, WSM. In the late 1940s.
Wow.
And that's her dad.
Good stuff.
I like that, right?
Yeah, harmonica is a
pretty
fantastic instrument, not utilized much anymore. Billy Joel did a good job with a couple of his songs as well, right? A number of them used the harmonica.
Well, old Fingers Taylor was the great harmonica player for Jimmy Buffett.
How about the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Big D?
Albert's got a good harmonica.
Mr. Bojangles. They were great with the harmonica.
So he produced and recorded with the Delmore Brothers. So there is a version of the song with lyrics with the Delmore Brothers.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a little slower, a little different.
Maybe we need to find that. A little slower? I don't know. See, I don't know if that works a little slower. Kind of like it the way it is.
Right. Might sound like the theme from the Waltons if you slow it down that much.
All of his albums were released on 78.
Well, let's work that into the outro rotation because I like that. So,
Nice. Right
boy,
there.
with Fever here, look a little.
Caitlin
slow
Clark. I don't think Caitlin Clark has scored a point yet.
A little slow out of the box.
I just saw something on the
How
board.
is that not a travel? I mean, she took 9 steps.
I know. She traveled all the way from Indiana. 7 minutes. Caitlin Clark had yet to have a point. She took a couple of hard fouls too.
Welcome to the league, yo.
I guess there's no interest in the Knicks game, huh?
Are they on yet?
Yeah, they've been on. They're in the 6 minutes to go in the first.
Okay, well, we can put them both on.
Yeah, we watched the girls
I
tonight.
got the old split screen here for you, Slickster.
Big game in Florida too. Bruins.
Oh, no, I don't have a split screen on those 2 games. I thought I did.
Oh,
All right, so we'll just go Knicks. The Harry leave? Is it going to take him 4 hours to get home?
4 hours it took the guy. 4 hours.
Goddamn door.
Watch your mouth. There you go.
All right, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night, 17 past the hour. Glad you're in. Lots to do tonight. We'll talk about the defense started whacking Michael Cohen around there like a rented mule in the BS. Every time I get to right before I say Trump trial, I want to say bull, you know what, and I just got to catch myself. The BS Trump trial in New York City where Harry and David Zier were at today. I don't know if you heard, but it took Harry 4 hours to get back from the city. 4 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I swear
You know
to
what?
God.
I think at this point, everybody's heard
Phenomenal.
it's taken Harry 4 hours to get back from the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll get into a little bit of that. We got some other things to get to tonight on the election. There's a report out there that Biden does not believe he's polling behind Trump. And I say good. Let him get good, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
Well, that's,
Let him continue to believe and act like that's the case.
That's what you have.
The only
with
thing
these-
I worry about when I hear that is that he just feels comfortable enough that they'll be able to steal it.
No, you see, what I get from that, and yeah, you could be right on that part because they've done it before, is that because of his insecurity and who he believes he's the smartest person in the room.
Well, he's told us that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he is.
And he just like his hapless
He's not the smartest person in an empty room.
no
Slick.
exactly just like his
the
his
door?
press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. They couldn't get rid of her because she thinks she's doing a good job.
Yeah.
She believes it. She firmly believes it. She doesn't study. She doesn't bone up. Everybody's surprised on how terrible she is, but not really because they see that she does really no work for the job. Same thing with Joe Biden. He is such a product of what a politician we'd come to be, politicians to be known for is just fluff. They just talk and they think they're the cat's meow. Nothing can go wrong. I'm so and so. I'm a senator. I'm this. I'm that. He truly believes that narrative from bygone era. He hasn't caught up to the fact that people are onto his BS, and that that he stinks, that he's terrible, that everybody knows he's a liar, that everybody realizes he lies constantly about everything. It's because of that insecurity, and because, let's face it, his insecurity, and he's so self-absorbed. I'm Joe Biden. You don't mess with the Bidens, kind of that kind of attitude where he thinks, he believes he is. He believed when he was vice president that Barack Obama was beneath him. He didn't understand that. I've heard those rumblings as well that he really looked down on the Obamas and especially Barack Obama. He's like, this can't believe this. Let's face it. He looks at him as he's clean. He said that in a debate. That's the way he looks at people because he believes he's better than everybody. And he shows it anytime he's on the campaign trail and somebody gives him just a little pushback. What does he say? Oh, you want to go toe to toe? You want to do push-ups? I got 3 degrees. I got a higher IQ. That's the way this guy is. So that's why he thinks, oh, well, there's no way I can be polling behind Trump. You haven't seen the numbers out of Michigan. Yeah, they have seen the numbers out of Michigan, and those stink for you too. So,
speaking of Karine Jean-Pierre, she made an interesting, truthful slip-up today, maybe the most truthful thing she's ever said, in the press briefing room. And here it is. Roll that, Aaron.
Was it appropriate for Speaker Johnson to show up at the trial of the former president today?
So, look, I can't speak to, don't want to comment, obviously, as this is related to 2024 elections, and I can't speak to the Speaker's schedule. That is something for him to decide on.
Yeah, that's correct. This whole sham in New York is all about the 2024 election and the actual interference in it. So she's absolutely correct about that.
And speak to the election, huh?
Right on the money.
yeah.
And speaking to Speaker Johnson, if we're going to just take a second on him going up there, I think it's a joke that the speaker's up there acting like what? You don't need to go up there to support Trump. You could have supported Trump through what we've gone through the last 3 months, through all the budget processing, through all the bills, through all the everything. I know Trump supports him for whatever reason. So, I mean, it is what it is. But to go up there and to show your face to the cameras and give this speech like this is, oh, yeah, okay. I saw an article today in the Federalist, and I was going to share, and I think I shared it, but I didn't bring it on the show tonight because it was long. And I skimmed it. But the title of it was something like, if Republicans don't start learning how to use power to benefit their friends and go after their enemies, they're always going to be the loser party. And that's that article is what I think of when I think about Mike Johnson going up there today. It's like, okay, yeah, you show your face, you say the nice things in front of the camera. But when you had a chance to actually support President Trump and actually try to move to do something like defund Jack Smith's office or play actual hardball, you rolled over. For everything Biden, you rolled over. So I know the president still supports him. Again, for whatever reason, he keeps giving him cover. But Mike Johnson does not. I mean, who needs that kind of support? I mean, I understand why J.D. Vance is there and people go up there, and that's fine. Somebody should go up there every day and go in the courtroom or whatever they're doing. Corey Mills was there today. David Zier spoke to him. Vivek was there today. That's fine. But Mike Johnson, the guy who actually had the power to actually do something, control the power of the purse, guy rolled over like a cheap suit. So what do we need him up there for? To then act like, oh, I'm here to support the president. Well, we didn't need you up there to support the president. You could have supported him down here and actually had a spine and fought for things that would actually help him. So I don't know. Would you guys have a feeling? What's your feeling on Johnson showing up there today?
You know what?
Who cares?
I understand your point of view, but I think the show of solidarity
what solidarity
is more important.
But what solidarity is he showing?
Whether he spoke or not, well, support for the president. That's what I'm saying. Support for Trump.
We already know he doesn't support the president. If he did, he could have done something to really support the president and help him and actually help the president. Not just be a phone call from the other side of the glass. Hey, how you doing? You doing good? Okay, I'm here for you. If you need anything, let me know. Well, it's too late.
Yeah, I think these people are serving a purpose, kind of a united front. It seems like Republicans always seem to
Democrats are real scared of that, I'm sure.
kind of leave each other by the wayside when things get tough. Hey, maybe this is a new page. I don't know. But I'd much rather have them up there, in the camera supporting the president than not being seen at all. When you have nobody coming to your aid and standing up for you, I think this helps him in the long run.
Too little.
That's
too
just
late.
me. I thought Vivek.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Probably the best one out there today, and we've got a clip from him, and he just tore it up as you would expect. But
Right, but him tearing it up, how does it actually help the president?
oh,
I mean, it's great that he tore it up. He's
are you
a guy's
kidding?
smart guy, but
He's in the middle of a campaign. You don't think that all these news places and it's all over social media, that helps the president? Visual things like that help the president. Statements like that help the president. If people are like flicking by their social media and they're like, what's this guy talking about? And all of a sudden they start, getting exposed to maybe things they didn't know about before or hearing it from a different point of view. I'm sorry, but that helps the president. If nobody's saying anything, that doesn't help the president. If President Trump's the only one out there talking, it's easy to bypass that. When you've got other people doing his bidding and supporting him visually and vocally, I think that's a huge, huge plus. It's a campaign. He can't campaign right now. So that's my thought.
yeah, I'd rather have none of them in New York and have had them actually do something on things that actually matter, like the budget bills. It's like MTG right now talking about trying to get him to take up the defunding of Jack Smith's office still. It's not going to do it. All right, we'll do sports with Slick when we get back. See what the audience thinks about this topic. If you're watching on YouTube, Kick, Facebook, X, stay with us.
Look at this idiot stalks. You got to be kidding me.
Kathleen says, I agree with Delgado. Yabu says he agrees with me.
Slick Rick.
Yabu.
Yabu.
What are you smoking, Yaboos?
Johnson is a little weenie useless, John Bergen says. I agree on Mike Johnson, like, why are you there? But Vivek and others, I'm glad they came. That's fine. I said I don't care. I don't care about them going up there, but Johnson's the only guy who could have. I agree with Damon. Johnson didn't need to be there. Damon is a downer. That's a great comment.
That's an understatement. I mean, how long have they been watching this show?
Greg says, agree,
Welcome to
Big
the
D.
party.
Mary says, I agree with Damon. Johnson's a weasel, total.
Too little, too late.
Marie
is what I
says,
say.
Damon, thumbs up. Listen to Yabu's new song, Damon, Amy says. She said that last night, too. Jeremy says he agrees with both of us. Lou says, I agree with Delgado. Clarity says, does anyone here know what the hell kick is that Damon always mentions?
Yeah,
Tim-
come join me and the 8 other people in Kick.
Tim says
Eight?
they're
It's
not
up
going to
from
do
6
anything,
to 8
Damon.
now,
You're
friend?
right, but I also agree with Delgado. Sharon says, I agree with Delgado. James says Johnson's a wiener.
Oh, I still think he's a wiener.
Kathy says, agree with
Total.
Damon
Right.
100%.
Sometimes you need. Sometimes wieners can be
Clinton
good.
says Johnson's a waste of space.
Our Klinicki on Kick says he's just another Paul Ryan,
Nick's on
acting like he's on our side, but not really supporting.
There you go.
25-20.
That's a good description. But he does speak to a segment of the GOP that we need to make sure we keep, right?
Yabu says, Damon, listen to Amy. She says, listen to your new song. I know. Where? Just send it. Send the link.
Yabu.
It's on YouTube? Is it about me? No, then I'm not listening to it. I'm just kidding. Okay, well, let's send me the link. We'll play it.
It's a depressing little ditty about Damon.
It's Harry's,
Don't
it's
confuse
Harry's favorite group.
depressing with reality.
Harry's favorite group, Big
Because
D.
you don't hear it many places.
You know what Harry's favorite group is? Foreigner.
At least today.
4 hours.
Diane, I agree with Big D. Too much lip service. Exactly.
Clinton Wells says, I'm 100% with Delgado 10% of the time.
There you go.
Oh, you know who was throwing you some love? Amazon 60. Tell Rick Delgado he's my favorite.
Tony Lucci says Damon all the way. Hey, guys from Oklahoma. Rick, you're so wrong, Catherine says.
Amy's song is not about.
I Live from Studio 6B, 30 minutes past the hour. Well, I think we're pretty much split on the audience. I don't know, maybe a little more for me, but a lot for Delgado, too, on Mike Johnson being up there today. Like, who cares? Guy's been a total disappointment. Could have helped President Trump right down here in we don't need him up there acting like he's a big fighter now. That's my position. Delgado thinks it's great that he's up there.
I didn't say it was great. I just said it's better we have the voices out there supporting the president as opposed to not supporting the president.
Well, I'm with you on voices, but I'm talking specifically about Johnson. I agree with you on Vivek and Corey Mills and anybody else who wants to go up there.
Yeah, but who cares about Johnson? It's not like I'm dating him. I don't care.
He's only Speaker of the House, second in line.
Exactly. I don't care, though, because he's probably going to get pushed out as soon as the next Congress comes in.
How do you figure that when he has? How do you figure that?
What do you mean?
If Trump wins, how do you figure he's going to get pushed out?
He's pushed out. Believe me, he's out.
Oh my God!
He's a placeholder.
He's running cover for the guy. How do you figure he's pushed out?
Because once there's a change of representatives, they're going to have more, hopefully, MAGA or Trump-supported representatives in the House, and they'll pick somebody new. He's already burned himself. So now he's holding on. He's, the president's going to run cover for him. Just, keep the seat warm, and we'll see how things go.
All right, let's do some sports. 31 past the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, and LFS6B is our code to use. MyPillow.com/LFS6B for all the best deals for the LFS6B audience. Up to 60% off using our code at checkout on all the great stuff from Lindell. What's going on in sports, Slickster?
All right, big deal. Let's get to the Garden. We got the Knicks and the Pacers in a big one tonight. Game 5. Looking to see who's going to pull this out. Series tied at 2. So far, it's been like exercising after Taco Bell, a game of runs, but pretty good. 31-27. The Knicks leading the Pacers right now, and minute 12 to go in the first quarter. So a lot of time, Knicks really need this game and kind of hold serve there to go up 3-2, because the next game will obviously be in Indiana, Game 6, which is going to happen regardless of the outcome tonight, and then a Game 7, which will be Thursday night, and a Game 7, if it does come to fruition, will be on Saturday, time to be determined. Nothing like an NBA Game 7. We have the Nuggets and Timberwolves in Denver tonight. Denver hosting 10:30. We got that on TNT, so I definitely want to check that one out. That's Game 5. That series is also tied 2-2, so really good NBA action in the playoffs. NHL action. Sunrise, Florida. Bruins and Panthers. Right now, the Bruins fighting for their life. They got to keep themselves alive. They now trail 3-1, but lead this game 2-1 over the Panthers at Ammirati Bank Arena. I saw Prince there 20 years ago. Great venue down in Florida, Sunrise, Florida. So 2-1 Bruins over the Panthers, and the Canucks taking on the Oilers 2-1 right now. Vancouver leading it in Edmonton tonight, though. 9:30 p.m. puck drop. So we'll have updates on every game except, of course, the game in Denver, which happens a little bit later. WNBA right now, the Sun 49-39 at the half over the Fever. Caitlin Clark struggling. This is her debut, her first game that she's played, and so far she has 7 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3 points. So she added a few points. She went the first 7 minutes of the game scoreless. So we'll keep an eye on Caitlin Clark, who's revitalizing the game. And Big D, I know you're going to want to mark your calendar for this one. Serena Williams to become 4th woman to host the ESPYs in July. This is an AP report out of L.A. Serena Williams is returning to the sports spotlight to host the ESPYs in July. I know Big D would love to see that, but he was hoping Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird would be hosting this year. But unfortunately, no, it's going to be Serena this year, Big D, the ESPYs. And, a little more serious note, want to get to this story. Aaron Rodgers tells Tucker Carlson that U.S. government confiscated Pat Tillman's journal after death in Iraq. Warner Todd Houston, a Breitbart. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers is calling attention to reports that the U.S. government confiscated Pat Tillman's personal journals after his death from friendly fire in Afghanistan in 2004. In an interview with the former Fox News star Tucker Carlson, Rodgers brought up the reports that government officials took to the former Arizona Cardinals journals after he was killed in combat in the mountains of Afghanistan. Afghanistan. Calling Tillman one of his heroes, Rogers insisted that the former player's death was very suspicious. We know that he was killed by friendly fire, Rogers admitted, but he added that it became suspicious after his death, and he questioned the way they handled his body afterward, his uniform, confiscating his last journal, using his death to prop up the war propaganda. From there, Rogers asserted that a lot of heroes throughout American history have questioned the government. Carlson, though, interjected, saying he had never heard the story that the government had confiscated Tillman's journal. Rogers replied his uniform was burned and his journal was confiscated. That's in Joe Krakauer's book, Where Men Win Glory, which is a fantastic book. The Jets QB went on to describe how Tillman was shot by his own men when he got separated from them, and they mistakenly thought each other were members of the Taliban and began firing on each other. Rogers added that he thought the Tillman story brought the Tillman story up because there are so many who really love this country that have gotten disenfranchised, to which Carlson added were betrayed by their leaders. Years after his death, Tillman's aggrieved wife pleaded with everyone to stop using her husband's death for political propaganda. But Aaron Rodgers, he's not one to be shy to get away from any kind of controversy, and maybe a little conspiracy. I'm not sure, Big D. That is definitely a mystery, but it's 20 years in the history, though, with the great Pat Tillman, who we obviously celebrated a couple of weeks ago, right? It was his anniversary of his passing, and it's a very special month. It is Memorial Day, so of course we remember all of our fallen military men and women. So, interesting story.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the interview? I got a chance to watch some of those clips. I watched the piece that you were talking about. The part where they said they confiscated and burned his uniform really got my attention.
Yeah, why do that?
Because they don't want you to see what his body undertook. That's the only thing I can figure. There must have been several, maybe more than, just a couple bullet holes through that thing.
Yeah, they did a job on him, unfortunately.
And it raises your antenna.
Yeah, no question.
Like, what the heck was going? Why would they burn it?
Yep.
You would think the family would want it.
Can't imagine what his poor wife's been through all these years. Crazy.
So, did you catch any of it? No. It's a pretty good interview. He talks about a lot of different things. He talks about the ivermectin. He talks about the vaccine, how they were pushing. The NFL had all these people deployed to every team to basically strong arm these players into taking the vaccine. And he thinks a lot of them got fake cards.
Is he still on the short list as Robert F. Kennedy's choice for VP?
The only clip I saw was when he said to him that he'd like to see Biden give a speech where he could recite American history the same as Putin does Russian history. And Tucker followed up by saying,
"Yeah, good luck.
I'd like to see him do a speech where he could just demonstrate that he knows how to work a microwave." He said, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, probably not.
That's the only clip I saw of that interview, so I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, some good stuff. Rogers was interesting.
That's a wrap in sports for me.
All right, Slick, very good. I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it, but I did see that one clip. Well, people in the chat are saying that I'm in line with. I haven't heard Steve Bannon on this whole Mike Johnson thing, but I could imagine he's not too happy. But I think that I guess people are saying that he was saying the same thing about why is he even up there. But so I don't know. We'll have to see that. I'll see if I can find some clips of Steve this morning. So
no, that's just because you're trying to get people to sign on with you. I get it.
Well, no, not at all.
Just like John Solomon and the Biden thing. I get it. Whatever.
Well, no, that was John's idea. It wasn't my idea. John said it, basically that you two are nuts. That it's not going to happen.
That's not what he texted me.
Well, no, he didn't text you. I know he didn't text you. I talked to him last night. He has not texted you.
Well, he's not going to tell you that.
And we just went over strategy to reconfirm that our position is the correct one, and that you two losers are going to be just that.
All right, bring it.
Really?
Once the convention's over.
And what is the bet? You mentioned that last night, and we still haven't come up with anything. What are you going to buy us tickets to? Hey, where do you want to go, Slick?
You guys need to come up with it.
I want to go to the Sphere.
I think you should have to. Slick should have to wear
your jacket. That'll be devastating enough.
My hat and jacket if he loses.
I'll wear your hat and jacket. They won't even see me.
And Delgado, you girls have to spend the night with your fire extinguisher outside the studio building, getting rid of all the weeds. We'll have a camera follow you around.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
In a Madonna tank top.
Hey,
he's got one in the back of his car. It's pink.
So something like that.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
Oh, yeah, because those
you
have no
stupid.
confidence in your bet. You have no
I
confidence.
have plenty of confidence.
No.
Okay, let's do it.
Delgado's no
On
weed.
the other side, you're taking us to the Sphere.
He's no weed whacker. Yeah.
If I lose, if he's not the nominee, I have to take the two of you to the Spear?
Yeah.
Oh, forget that ain't gonna happen.
Well, that UFC is going to be before that.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the Spear for something else.
Okay.
For the UFC.
Well, no, UFC is before November.
Oh.
So we won't know. Well, wait, when's the convention?
It's in August.
No, I think
Take us to the Sphere.
I think the thing is in July.
Take us to the Tom Jones concert.
UFC at the Spear is in July.
Ooh, pussycat. Yeah, come
All
on.
right, so if I lose, I'll take the two of you to something at the Sphere.
Yes. Or better yet, or
And maybe we'll give one round trip ticket away to a lucky viewer to come with us.
maybe.
Oh, wow.
Even better than that,
Well, what's better than that?
we could do a road show in Nashville.
Well, that's not. I'm not. I mean,
Where's the crickets? Cue it.
Well, I was just thinking.
okay. We'll keep thinking.
I'm trying to think for the viewers.
Well, let the viewers. Maybe they'll come up with some good suggestions in the chat.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sure they. I'm
Well,
sure
yeah,
they will.
I'm sure they already have.
What should happen if who loses this bet on Delgado and Slick against me and John Solomon?
Right.
I don't think John will have the time to go to Vegas with us.
No, he's
I
not,
don't
he's
think.
not going to be bothered with that.
No.
He's going to be too busy licking his wounds
That's not
because he
happening.
sided with you.
Yeah.
No. He didn't side with me. He said he's the one who said it, and then I joined him.
He's going to be too busy trying to block you on all his social media. Like, I got to get this guy
That's
out of my
not.
life.
That's not true. That's not true. So, all right. Well, there's not a lot of time here, but that's it for sports. Sports is
Yes.
brought to you by Mike Lindell and My Pillow. Let's do some news, and then we'll do some more when we get back. News is brought to you by our friends at Seven Cells. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, this story really got my attention. Made me laugh the most. It's because it's coming out of New York City. As New York City Mayor Eric Adams suggests migrants
This is
Could
This
fill-
is the clip of the year. Maybe the clip of the year.
Could
Maybe the
fill-
clip of the year.
the job shortage that they're facing here in New York City. Why don't we let the good mayor tell you about it? Cut number 9. Here's Eric Adams talking about his idea.
This is unbelievable.
Let me just take your imagination for a moment.
Whoa.
Yeah.
If we had a migrant and asylum seeker plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite.
Right.
How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard. That just doesn't make sense.
Yes.
But if
There it
we
is.
had a plan that say you have a shortage of food service workers,
You could stop
and
it
those
right
who
there
fit the
because
criteria-
that's all we need. That's all we need for probably the most racist statement we've heard from Mayor Eric Adams.
I mean,
Why didn't he just use the word wetback? I mean, at that point, right? It's insane. And he just kept.
he was so
He
serious.
was so
too.
fine about it. Right? He was so fine. Like
We have a
how do we have this?
we have a group of people that are good swimmers.
Good
I mean, holy cow!
Wow. Excellent swimmers. He said.
He'll get away with
Excellent. It's like the Rain Man of swimming. They're excellent swimmers.
A little bit of a smart ass, so got what he deserved.
Who's a smartass?
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, he gets what he deserves. So if he gets hurt, he deserved it.
look
Kind of
at-
like Mitchell Robinson.
Look at the extent. No,
He
Mr.
deserved
Robinson
it because
didn't deserve that. That's different.
Sixers were losing, and Joel Embiid is a dirty player, and he pulled him down, and he broke his ankle. He deserved it, though.
I didn't say that. You're talking.
That's what you said.
I didn't say he deserved that. I said DiVincenzo deserved what just happened. Why is this? That's all. He was being cute with.
He wasn't being cute. He got.
He was cute on the dunk, and he was cute with what's his name, giving him the eyes before. Yeah.
Well, whoever wins this game wins the series, so you figure it's going to be.
Yeah, probably, because games, if it'll go back to Indiana, they probably will win that game, and then Game 7, it's going to be tough to win in the Garden.
Gets smoked at home game.
I know.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Remember, you were going to bet Minnesota. I know.
How were they only -3? Denver had to be the play. The same 2 games in a row, they were -3.
Oh, Doug Smith must be watching the show. He just texted me, excellent swimmers with the 3 smiley laughs. I don't know if he's watching it now in this segment, but Doug Smith.
Wait, what was the call there? Oh, Spike giving.
Oh, this
Spike
idiot. Would you please? I mean, this guy, come on already. He's a moron.
Spike giving some advice. Look.
Spike. Somebody spiked his lemonade. This guy's a character.
Come on, Slick.
He's like a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Same size,
Man
same
of
glasses,
color.
same outfits.
Dresses the same.
Yeah.
I was in a room a few times with him, but it's not my thing.
Did they both get assessed technical on that?
I couldn't hear.
Because the Knicks got the ball. That's odd.
It looks. Yeah. Oof. These guys are hitting, man. He hit somebody else, same guy. This Jackson guy is dirty too. All right.
Hey, we're in the chat.
Slick, what do you think of the Tyson Paul fight? Charles wants to know.
It's interesting. Tyson supposedly is not in good shape. I think it's dangerous. He better get his butt in shape. He's got 2 months. He better start doing something. But I heard he's not looking good, Tyson, now all of a sudden. And Jake Paul is taking it serious.
Live from Studio 6B, 13 till the hour. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in on a Tuesday night. Lots to get to. Slick's going to do some more sports. We'll get to a couple other things. Talked a little bit about PPI. CPI comes out tomorrow. 8:30 a.m., I believe. We'll get the CPI numbers and we'll see.
Any indication of where it's going to be?
Well, I think most people believe it's going to come in line with what the so-called experts think. I don't have the number. I think it's 0.3 year over year or month over month. So that would be 3 times 12, 3.6% year over year. I think that's what the expectation is. But Tom Lee from Fundstrat, who I follow, and I think he's pretty much right on the money most of the time. He thinks one of these CPI ratings, we're going to get a real catalyst that surprises everybody to the low side. That disinflation has really worked its way into the system, and the only thing holding it back from us really seeing it has been housing, owner equivalent rent, some other things that account for too much of the reading. And once those things roll over and work their way into the reading, we're going to get one of these, and we're going to get surprised, where we're going to get like a low. And that's going to just spark $6 trillion worth of sideline money that's sitting on the sideline coming into the markets. And he thinks we go higher from here. Whether that's tomorrow or not, I have no idea. Tomorrow's one of those readings that, honestly, I would not be surprised if it was 0.3. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 0.4 or 0.5. And I don't think I'd be surprised if it was 0.2. Because I've been on the disinflation is there. We're just not seeing it because of the lags in some of the major, owner's equivalent rent and other things, services. And so I don't know. I don't think I'd be surprised anyway. If you made me put money on which one it's going to be, I think probably either in line or hot. I don't think it'll be cool. but very tough to figure.
All right. Well, I guess we'll find out tomorrow morning.
We will know tomorrow morning, and the markets will react one way or the other for sure. So we'll see. PPI 0.5 today, and I think the expectation was 0.3. So, all right, let's do some more news. News is brought to you by our friends at 7Cells, 7cells.com. Use our code LFSXP, 10% off whatever you put in your cart. And check out what's going on, Rick.
Well, kind of an interesting story. I don't know if you've heard about this. This is the first I heard of it, and it's because it's starting to gain traction again. I'm talking about RFK. We heard about Ashley Biden's diary. Well, RFK had a diary, too. A sex diary, his secret journal of affairs, believe it or not, which first surfaced back in, I guess, 2013, but the story is starting to make its way around again as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. grappled, and this is the original article, grappled with what he called his biggest deficit, my lust demons, he called them, while keeping a scorecard of more than 24 conquests, according to his secret diary. The thick red journal was found in his home by his wife, Mary Richardson Kennedy, who, distraught over the impending divorce and Kennedy's serial philandering, actually ended up committing suicide. Copy of the pages reviewed by the New York Post, details RFK Jr.'s daily activities, speeches, political activism, and the lives of his 6 children in the year of 2001. But they also record the names of women with numbers from 1 to 10 next to each entry. You can't make this up. The codes corresponded to sexual acts, with 10 meaning intercourse. Mary told a confidant there are 37 women named in the ledger, 16 of which, Damon, get 10s. So, kind of, yeah.
What is this story? I haven't heard of this.
Exactly, but it's starting to. It originally came out around 2013 or so, and it's starting to bubble up again. I guess as we're getting closer to the election, they're digging through because they realize his impact on the Democrats and on Joe Biden. They need to try and sully up RFK, and this story is starting to make its way out again. So, you know, talk about an October surprise here in the month of May. Here you go, RFK. How do you like me now? So, a little bit of interesting news there for RFK when it comes to campaigning. This story has people freaking out in North Carolina, at least the Antifa members.
Do we want to have RFK on the show, by the way?
I would love to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. You probably wouldn't want me to bring up the diary thing.
Well, no, I don't think I would. No, I don't think I would.
Okay. I think he'd be an interesting interview.
Okay. Somebody asked me today if I wanted him on the show.
Oh, yeah?
Who has,
Oh, you mean our friend?
Which one?
I didn't know if you knew that he had that connection. You do?
Believe me, I know.
Okay.
I
Yes.
know things.
He asked me if I wanted to have him on.
I know people.
And I said, yes, of course. I said, how could I not want to?
Yeah. I think that would be very interesting.
Okay.
What are you going to ask him?
We'll effort that. What am I going to ask him? I don't know. I'm going to have to
You have to prepare.
ask him about his abortion stance.
Well,
he's tried to clarify that. But
Since
whatever.
Sage Steele's interview, he's tried to clarify it?
Yeah, he's tried to clarify it.
Well, when you say try, meaning like, what, has he failed?
You know.
I guess that's a yes.
Because usually your first answer is the one you're most correct with. He's trying to go back and kind of quantify, like, well, I really meant this, but yeah, you said up to the time of birth, so it's kind of.
As I said to our friend today,
yes,
the thing, because his original question to me was, do you think he pulls more from Biden or from Trump? And I said, honestly, I think he probably pulls from both, but I originally thought he would have pulled more from Trump. But since he announced his VP pick, this far left radical, she's out there with Bernie Sanders on economic things, and then his abortion take with Sage Steele, which was out there with just the most radical abortion on demand of the Democrat Party. I thought maybe he does pull more from Biden, but maybe he doesn't pull it all because people just think, oh, this is a wasted vote because this guy's off the reservation. So I don't know. What are your feelings on the updated thinking on if he? Because he says to me he's going to be on the ballot in all 50 states. He thinks
that's the way it looks. That was the reporting last week. That I guess with the adding the woman that he chose for his VP has kind of helped launch him into that area where now he can get onto the ballot in all 50 states. And he's a Kennedy. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Besides the vaccine stuff and the CIA, he's every other policy he supports, it's Democrat. Democrat economic policies, you name it, across the board. The abortion policies, across the board. It's all Democrat. He's he's definitely pulling way more from Biden than he is from Trump, because people realize it's like, well, they look past those two when all of a sudden you start seeing the wacko stuff.
But when you say that,
stuff,
here's what interests me when you say that. He's pulled way more from Biden. I mean, one thing we know is the Democrats don't want to lose. So people voting for RFK instead of Biden know that it's basically just a vote that's going into the ether because he's not going to win. And they're basically preventing any chance, as slim as they continue to get, I think, of Biden winning. So why would they vote for him? Why would he take more from Biden when people know that's just helping Trump win in the end?
Because he's a Democrat. And there's no way they're going to vote for Donald Trump. So given the choice,
wouldn't they just rather hold their nose and vote for the guy they think can end up beating Trump?
They already think that Biden's going to lose. So why bother?
Well,
that's the way the polls say.
He's not going to run anyway, so we don't have to worry.
True.
Yeah, see how I snagged you right into that?
I saw that.
And what's interesting now is that now the Democrats are in a pickle because of what they've done to RFK. They can't all of a sudden have him, we'll welcome you back to the Democrat Party. It's not going to happen. He can't. It's unlawful. He's not allowed to. He can't switch to Democrat.
So you think they just want to split the vote and both of them come nowhere close to Trump and that's it? It's over?
Yeah, pretty much.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. But, of course, they're holding out hope for the beauty pageant with Big Mike for 2 months.
That theory's nuts.
I mean, if you think Obama and the powers that be are going to let the DNC just eat their own and split the vote, I mean, I don't know what you guys are. I need whatever you guys are drinking.
We could have him as an in-studio guest.
Yeah, well, that would be the idea.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
It'd be be an interesting conversation. Can't say we're going to agree with much of. At least I can't speak for you guys, but I can't say I'm going to agree with much of what he has to say. But it'd be very objective. Have him on
because he's a Boston.
Oh yeah, well that's true too. I'm sure he is. He was just in town, actually. He was in Holbrook. He was at Mama Lombardi's, Villa Lombardi's, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Doug Smith said they know somebody in Bayport that knows him as well. I could get him on the show. But
I wanted to go.
Yeah. I was there. I passed through. They were already out there handing out flyers and oh boy.
Zero said there was like 350, 380 people there. That's a good crowd.
Sure there were. I'm sure there was.
That's a good crowd for the.
Well, he's a big name, especially in the Northeast. I mean, being a Kennedy. I mean, well, the whole country, but especially up here. Oh, Flynn.
I'm talking about the people that went to the.
Oh, the general. Oh, okay.
380 people.
I'm still on RFK.
It's a good audience for them.
Yeah. That's a very good audience at Joe's place. Who's there tonight? Is somebody there tonight?
Yeah, David Zier's interviewing, I don't even know who. Somebody who will not get 350 people. It's a little different at home.
Doesn't everybody?
It is amazing, the home court, boy.
It's NBA. There's no other sport like it. I don't care. Not NFL, not NHL, not NBA. Home court is everything. Because the people are right on the. Listen, you're shaking hands with these people.
10?
No other sport are you doing? Are
5?
you that close?
All right, 9 o'clock, hour 2, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in, everybody. Slick's doing sports. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Make sure you follow us on all our social media. We always appreciate everybody for the follows and the likes and the comments and the shares. If you're watching on X or Facebook or YouTube or Kick or Rumble, at LFS6B on all of those, at LFS6B on all of those. Please make sure you like and share the show. Hit the thumbs up. Really does help us get the show out there. Spread the message, spread the mission. That's what we're here to do. And I want to thank everybody for doing that. Make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com as well. Make sure you sign up to be a site member. Absolutely free. Takes about 4 minutes. Not even, maybe 1 minute to do it. Just name an email, sign up at the site. We send out emails. We send out, obviously, news. A lot of news articles, all of our merch. Everything is there, live from studio6b.com. Check it out. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing some more news, some more things to get to. We've talked about this a little bit with David Zier. And what's going on in the RNC in the ground game. And he was going to ask Lara Trump and some others, I think, when he was with them, but he didn't have a chance to. But there's an article out today. And again, I bring you these things to just put it on your radar. This is in the Federalist today, written by Brianna Lyman. And it's entitled, "The RNC has few operatives on the ground in the swing states. Local GOP leaders say." One grassroots leader said she didn't think their operations are even up and running yet, but expects robust help to come eventually. The Republican National Committee appears to have little to no on-the-ground operations in key battleground states, despite former President Donald Trump leading President Joe Biden. Local GOP and conservative group leaders tell the Federalist. They've expressed optimism, however, that the RNC will step up its efforts and suggested it's, quote-unquote, typical for the RNC not to have its ground game going until about now. Grassroots organizations are targeting key states such as Arizona, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Texas to improve election processes at the administration level well before Election Day. Josh Finley of the Texas Public Policy Foundation touted the group's huge successes throughout battleground states with regard to drop-box security, absentee ballot procedures, observer access, and absentee processing centers. But despite all the work being done on the ground to elect Republicans, the RNC doesn't seem to be too involved, though grassroots leaders are hopeful that won't be the case for too much longer. Finley said he believes RNC Chairman Michael Whatley will get the proper infrastructure in place to secure the upcoming election. In Arizona, for example, Trump lost Arizona by 10,457 votes in 2020 after winning it in 2016 by 91,234 votes. It's key to his reelection. But the current on-the-ground effort to ensure a Trump victory rests on the backs of grassroots activists and appear to lack any robust national party support so far in Arizona. So far, the RNC doesn't seem to be on the ground They said they hope the RNC will step up its involvement for the general election, saying that they don't see a huge presence from the National Party in 2016, but we'd love to see an increase in engagement from the RNC at this point. In Pennsylvania, well, you can go. I mean, it's North Carolina they go through as well. But the point of this, again, as it was the last time I brought this up, is to just kind of wave the red flag and say, warning. I don't know is it Michael Whatley's decision on what the timing should be on this, but it's May 14th. The election is first week of November. And I know the polls, if you want to look at the polls and believe them, tell you they're up in places like Nevada by 12 points and all these other places where Trump's seemingly doing much better than Biden. But what do we think of this strategy of really not having a ground game in these swing states as of at least today?
Well, it's definitely not a good idea. Let's hope, like he says in the article, I think you read it, that, it's usually around this time that they start this. You would have hoped that they would have started sooner. But, they know what they're doing, I guess. So it is what it is. I mean, if it was us, I'm sure we would be like, no, we got to be out there last year. But.
Well, what makes me nervous about it is when I look at Mark Elias and I look at his, and you can put this up on the screen if you want. I go through his Twitter, and all I see is him on the move once again to make sure that the Democrats can do as much as they can. And I'll just go through some of the things that he's focused on and he's doing. It all has to do with the election, and it all has to do with drop boxes, and it all has to do with going in these states as he did in 2020, while the RNC was God knows doing what, certainly not knowing that he went into Georgia and had a dissent decree between Stacey Abrams and the Secretary of State, went into Pennsylvania and changed the state constitution laws, took the rights away from the state legislatures in these states. And I saw something he put out today. And if you just go through these and just look, every one of them is about making sure Democrats can not only get out their votes, do what they have to do to get the voter rolls right, do what they have to do to get drop boxes in these places, all these lawsuits they're filing, and it's just one after the other. Here's one for New York, mail-in voting law, challenging. I mean, they're just consistently. Right now, my law firm is litigating 51 voting and election cases in 20 states. We are not done fighting for democracy, and we are not done winning. With the caveat that you can't read too much into oral arguments, it seems clear to me that ballot drop boxes will be legal again in 2024. And this is out of Wisconsin he's referencing that they're involved with. So I just look at if you look at the bank robber on the loose and you're watching his moves and he's casing out the joint, what do you think he's going to do? So I just look at what this guy's tweeting about. I look at what they're doing. And it seems to me that once again, that's good, Aaron. They're on the move again, just like they were in 2020. And then we have articles the RNC is not even in these states.
No.
I don't know.
Then you could also look at True the Vote, which has released an app that allows you to catch Democrat cheaters. Outstanding technology. If you go to True the Vote on Twitter, on X, you can check out one voter who tells of her experience using the True the Vote IV3 platform. She found 50 voter records that were registered using the same P.O. box and bringing them to her local election board. And I guess these are things that are in place right now, countering some of the cheating that we were dealing with in 2020. So, I mean, yeah, you've got Mark Elias out there, but you've also got True the Vote. You've got all these other things going on, Damon, that I don't think get enough press.
Well, I don't know that they have the same impact as going into the state legislatures and going into the courts as releasing a mobile app. I'm not sure.
Well, what is?
I don't know. I just don't know anything. I don't know enough about it to know what the impact would be.
Right. Because I keep seeing a lot of stuff about the election fraud stuff coming out. And it's something we've avoided talking about. I haven't really dove into it because there's so much more now coming out of Georgia that I haven't had the time to really kind of wrap my brain around exactly what was mentioned in court, what they found. But it's all looking like, and at first glance, it's looking like there's a lot of different problems that they've been able to bring to light in court that the people in Georgia are now admitting to. That's going to really change the tide. So keep an eye on that stuff because that's going to be major. And again, you talk about the polls. No, let's talk about the polls, shall we? CNN's own Harry Enton here on cut number 8. He's rolling out some of the poll numbers that you referenced a little bit earlier. Here we go, cut number 8, rolling out the bad news for Biden when it comes to the poll numbers.
Look, these Sunbelt battleground states, frankly, for the Joe Biden campaign, these numbers are an absolute disaster. The smallest lead is in Arizona for Donald Trump. He's up 6. Look at this, 9 in Georgia, 13 in Nevada. My goodness gracious, my God. That is a huge lead. No Democrat has lost that state since John Kerry lost it back in 2004. How about these Great Lake battleground states? This is something that the Joe Biden campaign can work with. Look, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump up 3, but that's well within the margin of error. Wisconsin, Donald Trump up 1, well within the margin of error. And actually, a Joe Biden lead, well within the margin of error, up a point here. This they can work with the Joe Biden campaign. This, the Donald Trump campaign, absolutely loves, and it looks like a lot of the other polling on the Sunbelt battlegrounds.
When you're looking into the numbers, why do you think
Watch
is doing better in the Great Lakes and Trump is doing so much better in the Sunbelt?
Yeah, the Trump coalition is changing. That's basically what's cooking here. This is at least one of the big reasons why. So this is among likely voters in all these battleground states we just spoke about. Back in 2020, 84% of the Trump campaigns, the Trump coalition was white. Look where it is now. It's 78%. The non-white portion of the Trump coalition, it was 13% in 2020. Look at this now. It's 19%. So the Trump coalition is becoming more diverse. And, of course, those Sunbelt battleground states are more diverse than the Great Lake battleground states.
You're looking at the Nevadas and the Arizonas here.
Of course. If you look at Nevada, Arizona, heavy Hispanic population, Georgia, heavily African-American population. Michigan does have some black voters in it, but Pennsylvania and Wisconsin are heavily, heavily white.
It's very interesting. Okay, add it all up. What does this say about where the race stands right now? We're talking Electoral College and the race to 270.
Yeah, the race to 270. It's advantage Donald Trump, but he's not over the 270 mark just yet, all right? So if we flip Nevada, Arizona, and Georgia here in your lighter shades of pink, you add them to the states, and of course the 2nd Congressional District up in Maine, which Donald Trump won last time around, that gets him to 268 electoral votes. If we keep Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in the too close to call category, along with Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District, Joe Biden at 225. So it's advantage Donald Trump, but Joe Biden does at this point have a path to 270.
Yeah, and right now, as you're pointing out, neither.
Yeah.
Neither there.
Neither there.
So there you have it. Changing of the support. Then we talk about it. New York.
Trump wins Nevada by 12 points. The election is over. As he said, no Democrats lost that state since Kerry.
New York and New Jersey in play.
How much money are we going to put on? You pick your states: New York, New Jersey. What other ones?
No, get out of
How
here.
about how much money are we going to put on each one?
They're loving.
$100.
Let's do $100.
Okay. New Jersey,
Yeah.
Trump wins New Jersey, I owe you 100. He wins New York, I owe you 100. What else?
Oh, I'm writing this down.
Oh, I think that's it.
And if not, he owes you 100.
Yeah, correct. What are the other ones you're picking?
I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
Oh, here we go.
The odds makers. Fired up, Fran. Odds fired up.
Who else is in play?
Pennsylvania.
Well, obviously, that's a battleground. Of course, that doesn't count.
You want like
Forget Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
you want a blue state that flips.
You know, UFO came down and told you craziness. It's never going to happen.
How about Maine?
blue
No, Maine Lobster. Hey, Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy.
New Jersey. You want California too? How
There's too
confident
much
are
cheating
you?
in California.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah, you can't
want
trust
them? Chicago.
Illinois.
You want
forget
Illinois?
it. No way.
Too much cheating.
Yep.
So you're just going to
I
stick
gotta
with
look at the. I gotta look at the map and see.
So far we have New York, New Jersey.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could say New York. New
Anything
Jersey.
down south? We have nothing down south.
We're
right
going to do
now.
just
we
New
got
York, New
everything.
Jersey. We can make it 500 each
Oh, I don't know
instead of
about
100.
that.
Louisiana.
Well, that means you don't pay me for how many months?
Oh, 3.
$100 each.
$100 each.
New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We could do that.
I like that. There
That's
has to
a
be
good
some
one.
payment for
There's
this.
not one other
for
state.
this lunacy.
How about one other state,
What?
just in case there's nobody else? Huh?
You mean if there's a tie?
Well, he's free to add whatever
How about Michigan?
states he wants
No,
to.
Michigan, too much cheating.
Well, that's a battleground. I mean, that could.
Yeah. Still too much
No,
cheating.
we got to look for a blue state that could potentially flip.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
this is the in-play
Connecticut.
list.
You think Connecticut?
No. No way.
If you want to put it on your list, I'm not going to tell you what I think.
Yukon, man.
I think you should be ready for reads.
I bet you he's not.
I think we should get another
Bet you
sports in
$100 he's
before
not
the
ready.
show's over tonight. I did one so far tonight.
What?
It's been a good show. People are requesting that let the Ricks talk. They love you in the chat
Well, what's
tonight,
the
the Get a Chat
what's
is in
the
love
other-
with you,
with who?
with Big D. They love him in the Get a Chat tonight.
Why? Normally, did you say Colorado?
No. Well, it's it's not New York and New Jersey.
No, it's Colorado.
Big lead there.
Well, for 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And when I say only, trust me, I mean only. They're the only one, Patriot Mobile. It's a proud supporter of RAV and a proud partner with them as well. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you the ability to access all 3 major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to without funding the left. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending the message that you support free speech, religious freedom, and the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, our military, our veterans, and our first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes switching absolutely a breeze. Keep your number, keep your phone, or you can upgrade if you want. Their team will help you find the best plan for your needs. All you have to do is go to patriotmobile.com, patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, R-A-V, or you can call 972-PATRIOT. 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month when you use the offer code RAV. So there's you go. Free month. All you got to say is RAV is your promo code. You get a free 30 days. Join me. Make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/RAV, patriotmobile.com/RAV, or call 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT, and take a look at Patriot Mobile today. Well, sticking with the Patriot theme, My Patriot Supply, another day, another breaking news story buried. They'd rather talk about anything else than what's really going on. It's not because they don't know what's happening. Well, the media pundits and talking heads just don't want you paying attention to what's going on. The real stories, you have to look beyond the headlines if you want to find them. You know the truth is being covered up. Prepare for what will come with My Patriot Supply. Since 2008, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of Americans get ready for the worst. Today, their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits are absolutely flying off the shelves. Get yours right now at preparewithrav.com. Preparewithrav.com. This food kit offers over 2,000 calories every day. Plus, with ultra-durable 4-layer packaging, it lasts up to 25 years in storage, so you'll always be prepared. Order all the kits that you'll need right now for $200 off of each one, plus you'll get free shipping included. You've been warned about what can happen. Don't live in fear. Take back control of your future and be prepared, because this isn't just about food, it's about freedom. Stock up on all these food kits right now. Preparewithrav.com. Preparewithrav.com. All right, 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, let's get to the NBA scoreboard. After a Mother's Day mauling, the Knicks have responded at the Garden tonight. Halftime, they lead the Pacers 69-54. Jalen Brunson for the Knicks leads all scorers with 28 points. Big night for that young man, on a pace to get over 50. Rick Delgado says it isn't over, but I think it's over. I think the Knicks are too strong, rebounding too hard, and there you go. Well, that's the whole idea. 69-54. Knicks over the Pacers, and the Knicks looking to take a 3-2 lead in this series, maybe looking to eliminate the Pacers on Thursday night in a Game 6. Timberwolves and Nuggets, that's at 10:30 out west tip in Denver. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves both tied at 2. Looked like Minnesota was going to run away with a Big D, but nope, Denver has responded and come back, and they're doing okay right now. We get the Bruins and the Panthers in a good one down in Sunrise, Florida. That's our Game 5 with Florida up 3-1, looking to close out the Bruins. Bruins don't want to go down easy. They're right now they're leading the game 2-1 with 14 to go in the third period. Canucks and Oilers, that's a 9:30 puck drop out west in the Rogers Arena in Edmonton. And, Caitlin Clark looked like her first debut game is going to be a loss. It's 71-59. The Sun are leaving the Indiana Fever. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Caitlin Clark with just 12 points tonight. And, we'll see what happens. The Liberty, Big D, your favorite team, they won tonight. 85-80 over the Mystics. That just went final a little while ago. Let's get to, this is a great story. College baseball team pulls off absurd comeback victory with 12 runs in final inning. Get this. With 2 outs. Indiana Southeast defeated Indiana Tech 14-11. This is Ryan Gatos of Fox News. This is one for the ages. A college baseball game featured an absurdly dramatic 9th inning comeback on Monday. In the opening round of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, the NAIA championship tournament, Indiana Southeast trailed 11-2 going into the final frame. With a lead that big, it's more than likely any team would have been okay surrendering a few runs before eventually closing the door. It's also likely the trailing team would have focused its attention on the next game in hopes of avoiding being eliminated. But the Grenadiers dug deep and put together an improbable comeback. Indiana Southeast scored 1 run each in the 7th and 8th innings and were immediately put on their heels after the first 2 batters recorded outs. All the Warriors had to do was get one more batter out, and they could be in good position to possibly get to the next round. Base knocks and fielding errors helped Indiana Southeast get back into the game, and before Indiana Tech knew it, they were tied 11-11. With 2 runners on, Trevor Goodwin stepped up to the plate and hit a 3-run home run to give the Grenadiers the unreal victory. It's not the first time Indiana Southeast put together an incredible comeback. In the opening round, the school noted that they came back from a 6-run deficit to beat Warner in 2021. The Grenadiers played Missouri Baptist later in the day after defeating Indiana Tech and won that game as well, 4-0. Absolutely incredible. Indiana Southeast will play Taylor on Tuesday afternoon to advance the brackets championship game. So good luck to those guys. And what a great, imagine that, 2 outs in the 9th inning. Just absolutely incredible stuff. Let's see, one more quick one. Well, Rory McIlroy files for divorce from Erica Stoll after 7 years of marriage. This is Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart, PGA Tour star and Damon's favorite golfer, Rory McIlroy, has filed for divorce from Erica Stoll. She's going to steal all his money. His wife of 7 years, according to a report. McIlroy filed the divorce documents in court Monday, according to TMZ Sports. McIlroy and Stoll have a 3-year-old daughter, Poppy. That's That's a shame. The pair met at the 2012 Ryder Cup, where Stoll worked in the PGA's transport office. McIlroy and Stoll were married in a celebrity-filled wedding at Ireland's Ashford Castle in 2017. McIlroy's media and communications team told the Irish Independent Rory's desire to ensure this difficult time is respectful and amicable as possible. He will not be making any further comment. Suspicions that things were not well with the couple heightened after the weekend after McIlroy wished his mother a happy Mother's Day, but did not mention his wife. Big mistake, right? News of the divorce filing comes just days before this week's PGA Championship in Kentucky. So Rory got a lot weighing on his mind. So very interesting story. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
Yeah, I saw that story today, and I saw that they have a 3-year-old. That's terrible
always,
for
that's
the
what
child. And
felt terrible.
For the parents as well. 7 years is not a long time. You just wonder what happened. But, it's not good. Not good. So,
yep.
Speaking of that, though, moving past that for a second, I saw Tigers out there at the PGA this week.
Yeah.
Looked pretty good in the practice round.
Yep. The big cat. Come on.
He's going to be out there.
Yeah, he's come.
You know where we're getting closer to, Slick? Every day we're a little closer to Ryder Cup 2024.
You love that Ryder Cup.
At Bethpage.
I know.
Black.
Are you going to be stopping by? You're going to go, right?
No, I'm sorry. Did I say 2024? 2025, I believe it is.
Next
yes.
You're stopping back? You're stopping there, right?
Who cares?
Big D.
I'm going to sleep the whole week there.
I know.
I'm gonna weasel my way into whatever I can to spend as many days there as possible.
Maybe we need to do the show from
That'll be the greatest sporting event ever in the history of anything. The Ryder Cup at Bethpage.
Has it ever been there
in the
before?
history of anything? No, not the history of anything.
Oh, that'll be the best scene of. Well, certainly be the best scene ever in golf.
Yes, no question.
It'll be so outrageously rowdy there. Do you remember when the U.S. Open was there at Bethpage?
I remember.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you were there.
It was wild.
You were there, right?
Golfers complained about the New York crowds, and imagine what it'll be when it's America versus Europe and it's in New York.
They're a rowdy group.
Oh my goodness! All those accents.
Where's my coffee?
Yelling the guy's backswing. You suck.
They can't keep their mouths shut in New Yorkers. We know that.
All right, we're live in the. Well, I'm live in the chat. The other two left me alone. Let's see. Hey there, Twixers. I'm in the X chat. Send them the Phoenix to play. Speaking of rowdy, that's Brooke71 talking about what we were just talking about. Let's see what else is going on in the X chat. Halftime Slick, an NBA game ain't over till the buzzer, my friend. You know what, Brooke? I agree, and he's purposely doing that because he's got the kiss of death when it comes to calling games over. So, yeah.
The kiss of death.
Kiss of death, right here.
Italian. Baci morte.
If he ever starts complaining that a team is already winning, that's Slick Rick's kiss of death.
Yes.
So hopefully it's never your team.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Look at the chat, boy. They got fired up in the Get a chat. They're already at, what are they at now? They're over 10,000 already.
Yeah, they're rocking.
10-1. They're a shoe-in. They want to see the shoe. They can't guess the shoe. I mean, I could have missed it. Somebody could have guessed it, but I don't know.
What, the shoe?
Yep.
No, they're not guessing that.
No, they might. I mean,
have you ever even worn those before?
Yes, of course.
I've never seen those.
Sure.
Then again, I try to block things.
You do. A lot of love for Damon in the chat tonight, I see. Okay.
Are you being
Yeah.
sarcastic?
Being facetious. Let's see. Doug Smith. I got to shout him out. He was watching the show up in Albany.
Oh, where is he? What is he watching on? Is he on Getter?
He's probably, I don't know where he's watching it, but he's up in Albany. You know, I'm probably hard to find the red bar up there. That's for sure. But I'll shout him out because I'm not sure if he's in the break. He might not be. Joanna, Ohio wants to know who's Beth Page. That's a good point. It's a good question.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Do the news. All right, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice. On a Tuesday night, Slick Rick has got sports. Damon is meandering about. I don't know what he's like a lost. He's like a Joe Biden. He's like our own Joe Biden. Sometimes he just gets up and wanders off.
He does.
Eventually, he'll find his way back. I don't know. Maybe he's filing down some corns on his feet. Anyhow, we were talking about the what? We were talking about.
That's rough.
Damon was making the point about why Mike Johnson was in New York. Meanwhile, this post coming from Citizens Free Press talking about President Trump having some firepower with him at court today. Some of the names involved, of course, Mike Johnson, the aforementioned, Vivek Ramaswamy, Doug Burgum, Byron Donalds was there, Corey Mills, and of course Eric and Lara Trump were on hand as well. It's always nice to have, I guess, people kind of have your back, so to speak. And one of those people, again, was Vivek Ramaswamy. Here he is. We'll only do about half of this cut there, Aaron, but here he is talking about the court case and what the president is going through there in New York. Here's cut number one. Check this out.
Thank you. I want to thank my colleagues, Governor Burgum, Congressman Mills, and Congressman Donalds for laying out the political backdrop here. This is a politicized persecution that is nakedly apparent. What I want to do is dive a little bit deeper into what we actually learned today in that courtroom. What are we seeing there? First of all, I learned a lot from being in there in person. It is one of the most depressing places I have been in my life, but it is fitting because the only thing more depressing than the environment of that courtroom is what's actually happening in there. It's straight out of a Kafka novel. The prosecution's main strategy appears to be to bore the jurors into submission. And if you look in that direction, sadly, it may appear to actually be working. Now, I would like for anybody here in the press, anybody at home, anybody in MSNBC or the media afterwards, to clearly state what exactly is the crime that Donald Trump committed. Oh, wait. We have not heard a good answer to that question. It has been vague until today. You heard Michael Cohen's testimony, after which I would say it is less clear than ever what that crime actually was. They'll say falsifying business records. Well, let's look at who did we learn falsified business records today? Yet, what, hour, 2 hours, felt like it could have been 7 hours, of Michael Cohen talking about how he falsified business records. Okay, so you have a guy who has been a perjurer in the past that is now saying he falsified business records. What is the crime that Donald Trump committed? Now, it appears to be what they might allege is some sort of bookkeeping error or whatever. The real bookkeeping that we need accounting of is Judge Merchan's own family member collecting millions of dollars as a Democratic operative, using the existence of this trial as a fundraising ploy for Democrats. This is unconscionable. Imagine if the same shoe fit the other foot. Imagine if it was Joe Biden that was on trial. You had a Republican judge whose son was collecting millions of dollars as a Republican operative. What would you all be saying? This would not be justice. This is injustice at its worst. So let's go even a layer deeper, right? Because let's go even a layer deeper, actually. The alleged crime here is supposedly, they try to point to this every day, that he does not actually use campaign funds, that he used personal funds. Well, let's get this straight. Suppose Donald Trump had used campaign funds to make a personal expense. They'd be going after him for that. So if they're going to get him going or they're going to get him coming, That is the best proof that this is a politicized sham.
All right,
Let's go
you can
through
wrap it
piece
up
by
there. He
piece.
goes on for another
If you
2
tell
minutes or
somebody-
so. Again, just blasting away at the prosecution or the persecution, I think, as he pointed out as well.
Well, the main thing out of there is what he started with. I mean, all the other stuff was fine too, but it's what he started with. Where, we said this last night, what is the crime? Where is the crime? You listen to that Michael Cohen recorded tape, and it just more so points out the fact that Donald Trump didn't know what Michael Cohen was doing. Where is the secondary crime to take this from a misdemeanor to a felony? Nobody knows. Alvin Bragg doesn't know. I don't know. You don't know. And the jury doesn't know. And this is all going to come down to the judge and how he charges the jury before he turns the case over to them. Are they going to realize going in there that they don't know what the crime is? Are they going to realize that what they've done here in this novel legal theory of this bookkeeping error where the statute of limitations has run, that they need a secondary crime to turn into a felony? Nobody knows what that is, including them. Do they realize that they don't know, is my question.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll find him guilty of being Donald Trump. That's probably the only crime that he's...
by the way, that'd be good enough for them as long as they can come back with a guilty. That fits the bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it turned over on appeal, but they don't care.
They just need the headline.
That'll be somewhere down the line.
Yep, just so they can run it every single time they mention Trump. Convicted, felony convicted Donald Trump. That's all they want. They just want the headline so they can say that. This just in as well from the peripherals of the trial, the Trump trial in New York. Justin Stormy Daniels' husband tells CNN if Trump is found not guilty, they will vacate the country. Don't let the door hit you on the proverbial buttocks on the way out.
Well, that bus has a bunch of fat losers on it waiting to leave the country already, and it's never leaving.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Rosie O'Donnell's on there. Joy Behar with all of her razors to shave her back. She's on there. Yep. There's a bunch of people on there, and they'll never leave.
Babs Streisand.
Yeah. Babs is driving the bus.
Share like
exactly. They're all on the bus.
Robert De Niro.
They're all on the short bus, and they'll never leave.
Don't forget De Niro.
Because they're a bunch of phony gold-plated empty suit phony weasels.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of some phony people in Congress, well, Maria Bartiromo, I know we played her yesterday, but she was back at it again, Damon. This time taking it to Republican Russell Fry. He's a congressman out of South Carolina. She let him have it with this. This is cut number 6. Maria Bartiromo putting it to Congressman Russell Fry.
That's all fine and good, Congressman, but why aren't you being louder about this? Why aren't I hearing anything from this committee? I had to just ask you about it, okay? Just let me be clear. Viewers are sick and tired of hearings. They're sick and tired of letters. They're sick and tired of hearing complaints. They want action. President Trump is in a trial all day long, every day in New York City. Where is this committee of weaponization, and what are you doing about it? I just spoke with Kevin Hassett, the former chairman of the White House Economics Council, and he said, make no mistake, if we see President Trump go to jail because he violated this gag order, markets will react. Watch this.
At the case in New York that the judge is being so, undemocratic, unconstitutional in his rulings against President Trump, it really looks like there's a conspiracy to put him in jail, to put him behind bars. And if President Trump is in chains going to Rikers Island, then, would you want to buy a U.S. Treasury the next day? The thing that I'm really worried about short-term risks for the economy is that the Democrats are serious in this lawfare. And if they actually succeed, then imagine it's like we become a banana republic the moment they take them to Rikers. And I just can't imagine what happens to Treasury markets that day.
Okay, Congressman, we're losing the country. So with all due respect, I'm not blaming you specifically, but it's not enough to set up a committee that's called the weaponization of federal government. That's not doing it for anybody. We want to hear more from you. We want to hear action. We want to know what the heck is going on in this New York trial where nobody can seem to come up with a crime.
Yeah.
So how is Maria not more eloquently and more smarter, because she's more eloquent and smarter than me, making the argument that I'm making about Mike Johnson? Nobody cares about you being up there in front of a microphone. We want to see action in Washington using the power that you have. How is that not the same argument?
Well, I you know what? And again, I've said this time and again. We know that nothing is going to come from these committees. They don't have power to criminally charge people. But what they do have the power to do is expose things, is get things out that people don't know about. And I'm telling you, this information, the more and more that comes out, this is the court of public opinion. When people start to hear more and more of this stuff, you see it across the board, how people feel about the media, how people feel about the government. There is no trust. And that's what we've had to break down for people to stop thinking, oh, well, the government's benevolent. They would never do something like that. Yes, they would. And they do it all the time. They just don't talk about it. And the media never reports on it. But now that you're seeing more of this stuff, and again, this is my personal opinion, more of this stuff come out, more people are starting to kind of wake up to the fact that, hey, we're getting screwed a lot. Like an insane amount. Like the people in Hawaii. I just saw a clip today on X from, who was it? It was Tulsi Gabbard talking about what's going on in Hawaii. That reminding people just days after the big fire, right? The governor of the state of Hawaii came out and said, we're going to take over that land by the state. And, we're going to try to rehouse these people on the main island. Think about how insane that is. But those are the kinds of things that need to be out there and repeated and pushed so people know that these deep state people, these people that, these unelected, faceless, nameless people, they are in the government and they need to be rooted out. And I think that's always been something that I said was Trump's greatest gift, was that he's woken up a lot of people and he's exposed a lot of this stuff that we normally would have never thought about. We never would have thought that the FBI would never do something like that to a presidential candidate. Yes, they did. And they had help from the CIA, and the Democrats were directing it all. So if you don't think that this stuff has an impact, check how people feel about the government and what they see. I think it's having a profound effect. And people like Maria, pointing it out that, we want action, but sometimes the action is just is the process. Let's say this is the reverse of the political, the persecution that Trump is going through, right? The process of us finding out everything that's dirty about the Clintons and the Obamas and the Bidens, that's the punishment to this process. Maybe that's their punishment. You saw have you seen the clips of Biden being screamed at? Leaving public places, people just cursing at him on Mother's Day.
Really?
I was like, what? I couldn't understand. I wasn't sure if it was like an AI thing where people added people cursing at him, but then I kept seeing other versions of it. I'm like, wow, this seems to be a real thing. So
I just it's not that I don't hear what you're saying, and it doesn't matter whether I agree or vehemently disagree with every word of that. I just think you don't give the enemy you're fighting enough. You just, when you say these committees, their only job is to make, they don't give a crap about the Republicans on a committee putting out strongly worded statements to the constituents who then go, oh, wow, I didn't know they were doing. They don't care. They play with brass knuckles. They'll cut your throat when you're not looking. They'll run you over with the bus and back over you. They don't care about your strongly worded letters, or your little press conferences, or your little appearances on Hannity. Or they don't care about that stuff. That's laughable. That's laughable. They're sticking the knife in your back while you're. I mean, they don't care. They don't understand the enemy they face. If you think these committees doing this, doing a couple strongly worded letters or in showing,
no, it's not about the letters.
I just don't think they don't care if people on our side find out more about what's going on.
It's about the video clips and the sound bites. I think those are the things that get people's attention. People are getting their news from social media these days. The electorate, the American people.
I mean, maybe. All right, one more. We'll wrap it up on a Tuesday right after this.
anything. Last few minutes. Knicks defense, good. How the Knicks going to beat like a Denver, though? Oof, what a steal. Sloppy. Look at his. He's got pickpocketed. Oh, my God. 3 shots.
What happened to my chat? It's gone.
Yeah, you lost him.
Did they kick you out?
Huh?
Did they kick you out?
6B, you need another hour on.
We need 4 hours every night. 4 hours show.
4 hours.
Harry would do 2 hours just by
Harry
himself.
would have something
Right.
to listen to and watch to his entire ride home from the city.
Harry's segment would be called the Fab Four. Yep.
4 hours. At some point, you know what? He had. What time did he leave?
4 hours
4
ago.
o'clock?
Yeah, 4 hours from 4 hours from when he told us it took 4 hours.
So what time did he get here, though, is my question.
He got here
What,
at, I guess it was almost 8.
About
Almost 8.
About
Oh.
7:40. Yeah.
Okay, so he
left around 3:30.
So he left right at the beginning of rush hour, and he didn't expect to hit rush hour. Oh, kind of crazy. I mean, anybody knows that. I don't know where with people in the chat. I don't know what rush hour is in where you guys are from.
How about the poor people in California?
It starts here in New York, heading away from the city at 2:45. If you're not on the road before 2:45, you're going to be stuck in at least 3 hours of traffic to get where it should take you about an hour. That's just the way it is.
Our rule in the past for doing shoots in the city, if you weren't out by 3 p.m., you found a nice place to have lunch.
Yeah.
Big D, D45789. Damon is as delusional as Brandon.
As Brandon?
And if you leave at 3:30, you might as well just like Fran just said,
delusional
find
on
someplace
what?
to have dinner.
I don't know. I'll be here all night trying to figure that out.
Many things, but
Because
what specifically is he referring to?
I've left the city at say 7:30, and
whatever you said 4 hours ago.
Still takes. There's still traffic.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Let's do some more sports with Slick Rick Ammirati. Sports is brought to you by MyPillow. Mike Lindell, LFS6B is the code to use. Trump 2024, Take America Back shirt behind me is the one going out this month for anybody who uses our code and sends your receipts into LFS6B at yahoo.com, LFS6B at yahoo.com. What's wrong?
Yeah, it's the pizza shirt.
Where is it behind you?
Yeah.
Well, it's hanging over there on the thing. I couldn't remember what it said on the front, so I had to look. Yeah.
Plotting it out.
Let's do sports with Slick. What's going on?
All right, let's get you updated. NBA, in the Garden. Knicks are looking good, holding on to that lead. They're up 80-64, 6:36 to go in the third. Pacers did make a run. They cut that big lead to 7, but then the Knicks shut the door, clamped it, played good defense, and that's it, 80-64. Knicks looking to take a 3-2 series lead, heading to Indiana for a Game 6 on Thursday night. Timberwolves and Nuggets tip off in about 45 minutes in Denver. Bruins holding on for dear life. Lead the Panthers 2-1, 57 seconds to go in the third period. This is the East second round, and Game 5, Florida leading that series 3-1. Boston looking to push it to 3-2 and get it back to the TD Garden for a Game 6 on Thursday night. Canucks at the Oilers. That game tips off in about 4 minutes. Get to the it's final at 92-71. The Sun have defeated the Fever in in Caitlin Clark's debut regular season game, Big D. That's in the books already. And baseball action, Yankees 5-1 over the Twins, bottom of the 7th. Rays and Red Sox tied at 3, end of 10. Extra innings up there in Fenway. Brewers 4-2 over the Pirates, top of the 8th, bottom 7. White Sox blanking the Nationals 3-0. The Guardians over the Rangers 6-2, top 5, bottom 5. Astros blanking the A's 1-0. No score. Cardinals and Angels bottom 1st, also bottom 1st. No score. Reds and Diamondbacks. Reds will lose that game. Don't worry. They 1-10 in their last 11. Disgusting. Rockies and Padres no score. Royals and Mariners no score. And Phillies blanked the Mets today 4-0. Nationals over the White Sox 6-3. I guess that was the first game of the Twilight doubleheader. Marlins 1-0 over the Tigers in 10. And the Braves blanked the Cubs 7-0. So you got a full run on your baseball scores as well. And we'll keep eyes still 80-64 on that game there in the Garden. Knicks leading that one. I want to get to a story. This Brady roast thing, Big D, has really took on a life of its own. And Tom Brady has regrets on roast, says he wouldn't do that again. This is Mike Reese of ESPN. What was billed as the greatest roast of all time turned out to be anything but for Tom Brady, who expressed regrets at the impact it had on his 3 children. I loved when the jokes were about me, Brady said Tuesday on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing Crowder. I thought they were so fun. I didn't like the way it affected my kids. So it's the hardest part, the bittersweet aspect of when you do something that you think is one way and all of a sudden you realize I wouldn't do that again because of the way it affected actually the people I care about the most in the world. Brady's comments came at the end of the 56-minute podcast when he was asked by Taylor, his teammate with the New England Patriots in 2009 and 10, if he learned anything about himself from the roast. Taylor's question was delivered more in the context of his connection with teammates and how it seemed to reflect their bonds formed in the locker room over years, but Brady instead focused on his children Jack, Benjamin, and Vivian. It makes you in some ways a better parent going through it. He said, sometimes you are naive, you don't know, or you get a little like, oh, bleep. I love the people when we're making fun of me. I just want to laugh, so I wanted to do the roast. You just don't see the full picture all the time. So I think it's a good lesson for me as a parent. He better take some lessons for his broadcasting. I'm going to be a better parent as I go forward because of it. Brady had at the same time, I'm happy everyone who had a lot of fun, and I do think for me, outside of that, it's always good if we're not laughing, then we're just crying. So overall, he was happy about it, but I guess some of the jokes went a little too deep for his kids, and his kids aren't babies, so they get the jokes, So that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you for tonight.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow, LFS6B is the code to use. Let's do some news before we wrap it up. News is brought to you by 7 Cells. Delgado, what's going on?
All right, well, one of your favorite shows was under attack by Tulsi Gabbard today, Damon. I'm talking about the ladies of The View. Believe it or not.
I was like, my favorite show. What's that?
Your favorite daytime gab fest.
Oh, yeah.
Was under assault by Tulsi Gabbard in cut number 7 here. She addresses some of the things, and watch Joy Behar is just, she is so spineless and weak and just trying to get out of the line of fire because she knows she's getting called out to her face. This is cut number 7. Watch.
Yeah. Now, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. Which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
Shut up, Joy. What the hell have you ever done?
Far ahead of ourselves.
For the country, you idiot. Nothing.
Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. He doesn't find me refreshing. Richard Spencer, the white nationalist leader, says he could vote for you.
Joy, this is why.
I mean, you're on Tucker Carlson at least 10 times. Why don't you go on Chris Wallace's show?
This is why I'm here,
watching.
Because you and other people continue to spread these innuendos that have nothing to do with who I am.
Well, Hillary Clinton started it, and then you shot back at her, boy. You called her the queen of warmongers.
You doubled down, unfortunately, on the baseless accusations that she made that strikes at the core of who I am. I'm a soldier. Because of the attacks on 9/11, I enlisted in the military to go after and defeat and destroy the evil that visited us on that day. I've served now for over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East during the height of the war, where every single day I saw firsthand the terribly high human cost. It's why.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
There's more
to
that.
Joy Behar, who adds nothing to the country and adds nothing to the discourse and has added nothing to anything she's ever been involved with. Just a loudmouth. I better shut up. Before I say something I don't want to say.
Yeah, you could say it.
Ugh.
Unfunny hack. That's a good. That's a
Way
good
too kind.
couple of adjectives you can add there for that. A lot of people now talking, and again, this is coming up. I don't know if you saw this, Damon. Tulsi Gabbard being mentioned as a possible VP pick for President Trump.
Ugh.
Thoughts?
Wow.
No thanks. No thanks to anybody on the VP list that I've seen so far.
No.
Doug Burgum. Really? Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, I'm sure they're all nice, fine people, but no. I'm really hoping he's going in a different direction. I mean, I could live with J.D. Vance for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's others I could get excited about, but I mean, please.
Yeah,
Tulsi Gabbard, Doug Burgum,
Kristi Noem,
Tim Scott. Like what?
Where's David?
I mean,
George Santos, maybe?
No, don't start that, please.
Kidding. What about thoughts on Devin Nunes? Again, somebody brought that up last week, and I was like, that's an interesting person.
I don't
know.
I can't see him going to Devin Nunes. I really could see him going someplace that nobody is thinking of.
Right.
I don't know who it would be yet.
That's why I mentioned Nunes, because I don't think, aside from the person that I saw mention it, I don't think his name has ever been mentioned. So, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty interesting pick there. I got this one last clip.
I'm hoping the list that we've been fed is, kind of a distraction deal.
Gotcha. I got this 10-second clip. Hey, Fran, cut number 14. You cleaned this up, right?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too much wrong with it.
Okay. Cut number 10. Not only is this woman, is she running down the street, but Damon, she's also running for Congress. Check out her interesting campaign ad she's running right now on X.
In America, you can be anything you want. Don't be weak gay. Stay
Valentina Gomez.
I couldn't really see it because the camera's in front of my thing, but what did she say?
Says, don't be gay. Other stuff. And then we had to blot it out. She's running that ad. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us, all our emergency personnel. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night.